back to Season 3, Episode 6 of Tiger Talk. We're your hosts. I'm Miller.
I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Sophia. We are East students at John Tyson Elementary in Springdale, Arkansas. Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Tiger Trivia is where we ask you a tricky trivia about tigers because tigers are our mascot.
So, here's Henry with today's Tiger Trivia.
Welcome to Tiger Talk, Henry. What's your Tiger Trivia?
Hi, thanks for having me on Tiger Talk. My trivia is, how many meals do tigers eat in a week? Ooh, that is a tricky one. What do you think the answer is, Sophia?
I think they eat 10 meals in a week. What do you think, Miller?
I'm going to go big. I'll guess 25. What's your guess, Carolyn?
I think 15. Stay tuned to hear the answer at the end of today's episode. This season, we are helping parents learn ways to guide their kids toward personal success. Today, we will be focusing on D, which stands for decisions.
The goal of this principle is for kids to make responsible choices by considering personal beliefs, safety and the situation, thinking through possessional consequences, and putting your best self forward.
Today, we have Miss Marsha Masters from Economics Arkansas here to talk to you about how to help your kids make good decisions.
Welcome to Tiger Talk, Miss Masters. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here. I am Marsha Masters. I work for an organization called Economics Arkansas. We serve teachers and students all across the state, starting with pre-K all the way through high school. And really, our mission is to help people learn how to make informed decisions. So, you probably know of economics because you've taken some classes or done some activities. One of my favorite economists is Dr. Seuss. Do you know him?
Yes.
Do you know Dr. Seuss? Yeah. So in one of his books, Hunches and Bunches, it starts off and it says, "Today was quite an awful day for me and my poor pup. The trouble was I had a mind, but I couldn't make it up." So every day we make lots of choices. I should have asked you a trivia how many you think you make every day. But it's alarming how many. Some of them are very easy and others of them are a little more complicated. So our goal is to help people pause and just think before they make a decision to consider what the benefits and the costs are so that they will be happy with their results of their decision and not a little bit sometimes sad by them. That's what we do.
Okay, you're here to talk about how making decisions. What tips do you have for parents who are trying to teach their kids to make good decisions?
Well, we have a lot of tools that we think are very helpful for children to use, but also adults to use. And one of them is a guide that we call it the PACE decision-making guide, and every letter in PACE stands for something. So the P stands for a problem. Most of the time we think problems are bad, but not always. If we have an afternoon that we get to choose what we want to do, we'd have to consider our alternatives. So P stands for problems, A stands for alternatives, what are our options? C is criteria, what's important to me? E means put it to the test, evaluate each alternative against what's important to me, and then D, make a decision. So if it's a beautiful afternoon in Springdale, you would have a lot of things you could do on an afternoon, and you could look around and people are doing all sorts of things. But what we want you to do is make the decision that's best for you, that fits your criteria. So we use a lot of tools like the PACE decision-making guide to kind of help us make those decisions easier for us.
Those are helpful ideas.
How would you encourage parents to talk to their kids about thinking about safe or unsafe situations when making a decision?
Well, that's a very good question. One of the things that we realize is that every single choice that we make has a cost. Not really money cost, but a cost. You're giving up something else. And we always think it's important to weigh the benefits and the costs because sometimes there are consequences to our choice that we don't even see immediately. We see in the future. So sometimes we just make decisions based on our emotions and behavior, but oftentimes those are not the informed decisions. And we want to think of safe decisions for our future.
Those are great suggestions.
What ideas do you have for parents to use when they are talking to their kids about responsible decision making?
Well, I think one thing is to use a tool like the PACE Decision Making Guide as a family to make some family choices so that students can see how the process works. We know people don't carry around paper and pencil and write down every time they make a choice using the guide. But if we practice it, then it becomes something that we automatically pause and use in our heads as we're making those decisions.
I think those are good ideas.
Do you have any tips for parents who are teaching their kids to make the right decision in a stressful situation?
Well, I do think there are some great books that you can read. I think there's some wonderful websites. Economics Arkansas has some lessons about decision making. Our friends at the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis have some fun videos. They have some online teaching resources. So there's a lot of things out there because we all, children and adults, can think of times when we've made decisions that maybe weren't the best and we would like a redo of them. So we're trying to start with young children so that they have positive decisions that bring great benefits in their future.
Thanks for sharing those. Thank you for joining us today.
We enjoyed
Thank
talking
you
with
for allowing me. Yes, I enjoyed visiting with you all.
The E students at our school have started a campaign to spread positivity. What is the best way you know to spread positivity?
Well, that's a very good question. You know, one of the things that we do at Economics Arkansas is financial literacy also. And we always talk about making choices, about saving and spending. One of the things that I think we can all afford, we don't have to look at our budget, is to be kind. So I read a quote that said, kindness is a gift everyone can afford to give, and that's what I think. Being kind is a good way to spread positivity.
Nice, I like that.
Okay, I bet you've been waiting for the tiger trivia answer. Remind us the question, Henry.
Okay, how many meals do tigers eat in a week?
Do you have a guess, Miss Masters?
I would think a lot, so I was going to even go higher, 30.
The answer is only one main meal a week.
That's a great
Wow.
fact. And a tricky one, too. I thought they'd eat a lot more than that.
Me too.
Me too.
Since our school mascot is a tiger, we roar at the end of every episode. What do you think, Miller? Should we share our best words with our listeners?
Of course. Roar. Let's hear yours, Carolyn.
Roar.
Amazing. Okay, Sophia, your turn.
Roar.
Great job. Let's hear yours, Henry.
Roar.
What about you, Miss Masters? That was amazing.
We are working with E students from Springdale High School to bring you Tiger Talk in Espanol, so stay tuned for this episode to be released soon.
All right, in our next episode, you will hear about the E in GUIDE, which stands for empathy. Our guest will be Miss Faith White.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode.
Thanks for joining us.
Tiger Talk to you later.
Roar.